Good morning, YouTube. How you doing? I need my coffee. It is late. I'm running late. Always running late. All right. Today is Thursday, February 28th. I am JB, and welcome to another edition of What's On Today with Discovery Bay. First up is a quick recap of yesterday's highlights. There are links to these channels in the description below. First up, we have Barbarian Kung Fu released a video titled Packing on Blast, Episode 2. Barbarian Kung Fu, trying to help buyers and be more informed. In this episode, Barbarian reviewed 4 sellers to see if they are doing their job, well, and if they need to be put on blast. I'm happy to report that my boy Hulknuts911 knows how to package a comic. Good job, Barbarian. Looking forward to the next week's episode. Okay. Next item on the recap comes from Dave over at Mr. Miracle Comics. He released a great video titled 5 Undervalued Copper Age Comics, February 27th. And again, he is spot on in my opinion on this list. Okay, next item comes from the other JB. You know, the one at Capital JB Comics. He released the next episode in his series titled A Woman's Point of View, number 2, the BRIE Larson Captain Marvel edition. This video and channel are both great and need some love and recognition. Hey, great job, JB. Okay, the last item on the recap is special. There is nothing better than getting an epic grail in a mystery box. And we finally got it last night live on TacomaComics channel during a live stream titled Triple Box Unboxing Get the Lowdown SmackDown. You had C. Woodard 19, Hudak Comics and Movies, and TacomaComics all opened their Spider-Man booth mystery boxes live. Who scored the giant-size X-Men number 1? No spoilers here, man. You're going to have to go check out the replay and find out. All right, let's hit the lineup. All these times are going to be in both Pacific Standard Time and Eastern Standard Time, and there are links and timestamps in the description below. Let's get to it. First item on the lineup today starts at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern, over at the MCE channel, which stands for the Marvelous Collectibles and Entertainment. We have a video titled Comic Chat with Chad, 2/28/19. In this episode, the connoisseur of comics himself, Chad, of 90 Miles from Comics, goes over the latest comics that came out yesterday and shows off his pickups for the week. Okay, at 7:30 p.m. Pacific and 10:30 a.m. at 7:30 a.m. Pacific and 10:30 a.m. Eastern, over at Dee Runk Comics, we get our first live show of the day, early live show, titled 2 Unboxings and My New Comic Book Day Pickups. Let's join George in the chat for an unboxing of a key book that he's been after for a while, and a YouTube auction win, and his new Comic Book Day pickups. Sounds good. Okay, at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, Billy at Economics and Comics gives us a video titled First Unboxing, What's Inside. Billy has absolutely been crushing it recently with his content, and he's totally secured us 2 different discounts for the comic book community recently. He's got his 10% off at EGS Grading Services and 20% off at Gemini Comic Supplies. The discount codes are in the description below. Okay, next up at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, over at the Metarog channel, we get our weekly comic contest roundup. And if you want to know what's going on in the YouTube comic community contest world, then you need to go check this out. Great job, Metarog. Okay, next up at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, on the Stacey Gillett channel, we should be seeing the next video in his weekly series titled Stacey's Weekly Comic Book Picks. Okay, at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern,
whosoever watches this channel, if he or she be worthy, shall acquire the knowledge from the Comic Chief.
That's right, another day and another video from the Comic Chief. This time we get a recap rant of Superman number 4. Okay. At 4:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, over at Midwest ComicMan channel, we should be getting the 9th installment in a video series titled Creator Spotlight, Episode 9, Matt Baker. Now, to close out Black History Month, Paul spotlights Matt Baker, the first successful African-American comic artist and the master of good girl art. Let's go check him out. Okay, at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, we have a video from Simon Comics, who brings us another edition of Throwback Thursdays. And in this series, Simon showcases mostly gold, silver, and Bronze Age books. At 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, over at JLS Comics, we should be getting the next installment of their weekly live stream titled The Comiconversation. Hop in the chat, give them a like, say hello, introduce yourself. At 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, head over to Thanatos Comics for the inaugural edition of a live show titled Willpower Unleashed, a Green Lantern comic club. So, basically, this is a comic book club for Green Lantern. Maybe I should put it on this side. And we're starting with this one right here, Secret Origins by Jeff Johns. So come join us in the chat. It should be fun. All right. Next up at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Join Jack, aka Mr. Bolo, and Brian over at Simple Man's Comics each Thursday night as they discuss this week's hottest comic book releases and recap the comicbookinvest.com Bolo list. Be on the lookout for new comic books. You don't want to miss this one. Jack and Brian are dropping great knowledge every week in this live stream. Okay, next up at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern over at Comic Book Wars channel, we get another live show. This one is titled Comic Book Wars Episode 15, Comic, Magic, Sports Cards, and Speculation. Cool. Next up, also at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, over at the Blast It or Stash It Comic Show channel, we get another live show. This one is going to be a comic book auction. So, we're going to have Spectacular Spider, Grandpa, Pocan Joe, Drew Manchu, Midwest Comic Man are going to be selling us some books. Let's check them out tonight. Remember, channel links are in the description below. Alright, at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, over at All About Comics, we have another live show. This one is titled Comics and Cold Ones, Episode 38. Join JP, Pope, and the gang as they discuss all the latest and greatest in comic book news. Okay, the final item on the lineup for today, and the last live show I saw scheduled, is over at Tony Sanders' channel and starts at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. Tony gives us the next installment in a terrific series titled What's Your Grail? In tonight's show, he has special guest Jay Dee of Jay Dee Comics channel, and I know he is gonna blow us away. No pressure, Jay Dee. Come join us in the chat. It's gonna be a blast. Alright, that's it for today's show. I hope you enjoyed it. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch my content. If you're not a subscriber, think about subscribing, hitting the notification bell. This lineup will be posted on Instagram with any updates and or changes if I made any mistakes. Please drop me a comment. It's gonna be a great day. I hope you got everything you wanted yesterday. And that's it. Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, like, comment, share, and do not forget, we had a good time.